Hello, Arthur and my peeps on this gorgeous Saturday. It's kind of cool, but that's fall, so not complaining. I found another spooky story. It's Darkwing Duck, The Darkest Night. The streets of downtown St. Canard were dark and quiet. All the stores were closed for the night. At Max's diner, Max was sweeping the floors when he heard the door open. "Sorry, we're closed," Max said as he turned toward the door. But when he saw the cloaked figure standing there, Max stopped and smiled. "Hey," said Max excitedly, "I recognize that cloak and hat. You're Darkwing Duck, mysterious protector of the city. You're my idol." Max stopped sweeping. "I bet you must get hungry fighting crime all night, Mr. Darkwing," he said. "What can I get you?" "Your money or your life," the cloaked figure answered. He moved his hand from out under his coat and pointed a gun at Max. "This must be a joke," Max said, hoping it was. "This is no joke," the cloaked figure answered, snarling. "Give me your cash, now!" Later, near the St. Canard shopping mall, the peaceful night was shattered by the sound of an explosion. A cloaked figure had just destroyed a hot dog stand and run off into the night. The owner of the hot dog stand could not believe his eyes. Darkwing Duck had gone bad. That's a lot of hot dogs, huh? The next morning, while Drake Mallard, in reality Darkwing Duck, was eating breakfast, Launchpad McQuack ran in, waving a piece of paper in his hand. "SUSH has another assignment for us," he said. "They want to see us downtown right away." "Us?" Drake asked as he snatched the paper out of Launchpad's hand. "I'm Darkwing Duck. You're just Darkwing Duck's lowly assistant." "Sorry," Launchpad said. But Drake was too busy reading to hear him. Drake said as he finished. "The greatest, most secret crime-fighting agency in the world once again needs my help. I wonder how they get anything done without me." Drake jumped up out of his chair. "Get my costume and prepare to launch the Thundercracker," he said. "It's time for Darkwing Duck to save the day." Thundercracker, I wonder what that is, huh? But Darkwing was in for a shock. The moment he entered Shush's headquarters, a pair of huge arms grabbed him. He was carried to Chief J. Gander Hooter's office. Hooter sat behind his desk, reading a newspaper. He shook his head sadly when he saw Darkwing. "A dozen crimes in one night," Hooter said. "I never thought I'd see the day that Darkwing Duck would go bad." Hooter held up the newspaper to show Darkwing the horrible headline. "Darkwing's Darkest Night." Darkwing gulped. "I didn't do any of that," he said, but he could see that Hooter didn't believe him. And so, with a burst of speed, Darkwing slipped loose and ran. "I've got to prove I'm not a crook," he said, but he made his escape. "And I can't do that behind bars." Darkwing stayed out of sight until dark. Then he moved across the rooftops of St. Canard, hiding deep in the shadows, searching for the fake Darkwing. And soon he found him. The imposter was busy spraying graffiti on a wall. Darkwing leaped from the rooftop and landed in front of him. For some reason, The imposter seemed happy to see Darkwing. "Hi, pal," he said, smiling. "Grab a can of paint and help out." "I am not your pal," Darkwing answered angrily. "I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the winged scourge that pecks at your nightmares. I am the real Darkwing Duck." "Uh-oh," the imposter said. He turned to run, but tripped on the can of spray paint and knocked himself out. "Another case cracked," Darkwing thought proudly. "Now I'll just call the police and..." Just then, Darkwing heard a loud crash. It came from around the corner. As he peeked around the corner, Darkwing saw another imposter. This one carried an armful of apples. "Great Scott," the real Darkwing thought. "How many fake Darkwings are there?" The imposter smiled when he saw Darkwing. "Come on, pal, it's time to collect our pay." Interesting, Darkwing thought. They must think I'm an imposter too. "I've got to follow along," Darkwing thought, "to get to the bottom of this." He followed the imposter to a subway station where a train stood waiting. When there were 12 Darkwings on board. The doors closed and the train began to move. They were taken to the train yard at the edge of town. Darkwing followed the others out of the train into a mysterious building at the end of the tracks. Inside a large room, a huge creature sat behind a desk. Before him lay 12 bags of money. As the Darkwings piled into the room, the huge creature turned on the desk lamp. Darkwing could not believe his eyes. It was his arch enemy, the leader of FOWL, also known as the Fiendish Organization for World Larceny, the most evil criminal organization on the planet. It was Taurus Bulba. Taurus Bulba laughed. "You 12 have done well. After tonight, the name of Darkwing Duck will be mud. The police will now finish the job for me. And with Darkwing out of the way, nothing can stop FOWL from taking over St. Bernard." He's a scary guy, isn't he? Kind of bullish. At that very moment, Launchpad McQuack was flying the Thundercracker high over St. Bernard. He knew Darkwing must be in trouble, otherwise he would have checked in. Launchpad had been searching for hours. He was about to give up when he spotted a familiar cloaked figure running toward the mysterious building in the train yard. "That's Darkwing Duck," Launchpad said. "I'll just fly in low and pick him up." Meanwhile, Taurus Bulba was about to pay the group of imposters for the night's work. Suddenly, another imposter walked into the room. Darkwing realized it was the fake Darkwing he had cornered in the alley. "You'll never guess who I met tonight," the imposter said. "The real Darkwing." "Wait a minute," Taurus Bulba suddenly bellowed. "I hired 12 fake Darkwings. And now I count 13. 13, the real Darkwing Duck thought, gulping. "My lucky number." Everyone in the room looked at each other. Then they slowly looked at Darkwing. "He's the one of the imposters shouted. "Get him!" "No!" Taurus Bulba roared as he leaped over the desk. "He's mine. Darkwing is dead meat." Taurus was about to grab Darkwing when he heard a very loud buzzing sound. The thundercracker came crashing through the roof. The impostors were taken by surprise and raced out the door. Taurus Bulba knew his plan had failed. "We'll meet again, Darkwing," he screamed. "And next time, you're a dead duck." Then he leaped out the window. Inside the thundercracker launchpad looked glum. "I wanted to fly in low," he said, "but not this low." "Just start the engine and take to the skies," Darkwing said as he hopped aboard. "We can't let those imposters escape." Launchpad turned the key. The engine groaned and sputtered and then fell silent. "I think she's broken," Launchpad said. "Then we'll catch them on foot," Darkwing said as he hopped to the ground. I guess crashing through a roof isn't very good for your vehicle. But as Darkwing and Launchpad raced into the train yard, they were surprised to see a pack of SHUSH agents waiting for them. One of them grabbed Darkwing. "You're going to jail along with the others," he said. "Not that one," Darkwing heard someone yell. It was Chief Hooter. "We heard the crash and came running," Hooter explained. He pointed to the imposter Darkwings and smiled. "Those copycats are all the evidence we need to prove your innocence. Welcome back, Darkwing." "But what about Taurus Bulba?" Launchpad asked. "He must have jumped into the water to escape," Hooter said. "But he'll be back, and next time you'll get him. Right, Darkwing?" But Darkwing didn't answer. He and Launchpad left to begin the long walk back to the Mallard household. "I've got to admit, you saved the day," Darkwing said. "Not bad for a lowly assistant," Launchpad answered. Darkwing smiled at his old friend. "What do you mean, lowly assistant?" he said. "From now on, we're partners." And that is the end for today's story. Hope you liked it. See you tomorrow. Love you all. Bye.